Before the roar of cannons and the rise of flags, there was a room hot, crowded, and thick with the scent of sweat and ink. Outside, the streets of Philadelphia stirred in restless silence. But inside the hall, men leaned over parchment, like it was sacred. These were not gods, were farmers, lawyers, printers, dreamers. They trembled not from fear of war, but from the weight of choosing freedom. Every stroke of the pen echoed like a drumbeat. Every word written carried the risk of hanging. And yet they wrote, not for power, not for glory, but because they could no longer breathe under the shadow of a crown that didn't know their names. The air crackled. Some debated, some wept. One man stared out the window, eyes fixed on nothing, as if already hearing the sound of muskets in the fields round him. Voices rose in fury and unity. Freedom was no longer a thought. It had become a demand. And in that room, as sunlight broke through dusty glass panes, the idea of America lit like a match. It was not born with a shout. It began as a whisper that dared to challenge an empire. What made that day sacred was not the document, it was the decision. To no longer kneel, to no longer be told who they were. That day, a group of imperfect men made a perfect promise, that liberty would no longer wait. Outside, church bells began to ring, not in celebration, but in warning. Something irreversible had begun, and the world would never look the same again.